Hi, I'm Andrea Mulrine with the League of Women Voters of Lackawanna County, and I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Dr. Jean Harris from the Political Science Department at the University of Scranton. Hi, Jean. We are
Hi,
here.
how you doing today?
We're here today in our continuing series on school board elections. We hope to make this a brief flash little vignettes. And today we're going to talk about the responsibilities of school directors. So it's an important election time. We'll be electing in the Scranton School District 5 of our 9 school directors. But this information pertains to anybody in Pennsylvania. So it's appropriate for all the regional school directors. So Jean, let's get my computer. There we go. So Jean, let's talk about what a school director is.
So a school director is it's a public servant, someone who has been selected by the members, people who vote and live in the school district, to participate in the collective body of the board to make policy decisions. But the school director themselves, as an individual, don't have power beyond what they do as a collective body. Yet it's really important for the school board directors to take the job seriously. It is a part-time job. It is a non-paid job, but the reality is it's not a part-time job. It's a really important job. And so school directors really need to be responsible stewards for the citizens and really take on a lot of self-learning and a lot of listening to be able to lead responsibly in the community.
So I like this quote that's at the top: a school director should promote education as a keystone of democracy. And I think that came from the Pennsylvania School Boards Association. We don't often think about education as democracy, but it really is.
Oh my gosh, education is so important to the health of our economy, the health of our democracy, good decision making. It is really, and the framers of our Constitution saw education as a keystone of democracy, and it continues to be. It really does.
So when we talk about an individual school director, so if someone is thinking about running to be a school director in any school district, not just Scranton, but any school district, so they should be prepared to be a leader in their community and in the school board. So what does it mean to lead responsibly?
So certainly school directors and any public servant. So again, when you're a government official, you're serving the public. You really need to do your homework. You need to be prepared ahead of meetings. You need to be able to participate in meetings. For school boards, if you go on most school board websites, you can find information on current policies, and that's a good starting point to educate yourself about whether this is something you're interested in doing. Each individual school director works as the collective part of the collective body, and the board has to collaborate with the superintendent. The superintendent is the daily manager of the school district, and the school directors make policies. They're kind of from outside, and they need to be able to make clear plans so that they can make sure the superintendent is on top of what the school board really needs to accomplish.
So the school directors also need to govern directly. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so they need to be able to plan for the short term and the long term of the school district. They need to be able to understand the current policies, revise policies depending on what's going on in the district and in the state. They really need to, they are in charge of writing the budget, from deciding tax rates to help pay the bills of the school board, as well as then distributing those taxes. So those are part of the governing that the board does collectively. And individual board members have to understand the fundamentals of budgeting and understand the fundamentals of education. The superintendent is supposed to be an expert in education and an advisor to the board, but each member will end up voting. Their real power is in their own individual vote and their voice at meetings. And so they really need to put in a lot of work. And again, learning what's going on both in the district and in education at large, and making sure that they're using good data, using good information. And there's so many sources of information for school boards that is easy with social media these days.
Thank God for that. So a school district, I think this is really important, and it's what we all see in the public from the school board.
Yeah.
So the school director they have to communicate and they have to listen. So what does all that mean?
Yeah, and so again, elected officials are supposed to represent their constituents, and there's lots of ways to do that. Certainly, we hope to elect people who are going to make the decisions we want when we're there. Um, so that means government officials, elected officials, school directors have to listen to know what it is the people want. And it's not just parents, but it's all taxpayers, and renters pay tax through their rent. And so it's, everybody in the community. And so school directors have to be able to communicate, to listen, and clearly explain what is going on, and have dialogue with not just the other school board members and the staff in the district who are the experts, but also the community members. And so they really need to set an environment where people know they can go to school board meetings, watch them now taped, and communicate with the board. But recognizing that the board is supposed to have expertise that many community members don't. So board directors have to both listen, try to do what the constituents want, but balance that with what is the right thing to do for the community at large. And so they need to be trusted to make good decisions. And sometimes those decisions aren't what the loudest voices are asking for, but they need to take in all of that information and hear from the many diverse voices before they decide.
And I think that they really need to be willing to voice their own opinions in their representative role, but they need to be willing to discuss. So it's not, you don't want to be a wallflower on the school board. You want to be someone who's actively engaged on the school board if you're looking to serve in that role.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about dialogue these days, not debate, but dialogue. And really that means actively participating and actively listening before decisions are made, because the listening part and asking good questions for clarification, all of that is so important to really being able to make the right decisions.
Here in Scranton, of course, we talk about ethics a lot as it pertains to all government. So what does it mean for a school director to act ethically?
And so again, there is a code of ethics for all state employees. There's a special code of ethics for people on the school board as well, and educators. The bottom line is you never can make a decision from which you will personally benefit. You are there to serve the community. And so it's important that all elected officials and including school directors, really make sure that they are never seen in a conflict of interest, never seen as being able to make a decision that they may be able to, their family, their close friends, be able to personally benefit from. The authority of the school director is in their vote and their voice. They can't, as an individual, make decisions. They really need to make sure that they recognize they are one of a body of 9, and then add the superintendent to that, making collegial collective decisions that are for the benefit of the community.
It's a tough job.
Yes, I believe it's a very tough job.
So this is the second in our series. We've talked about responsibilities of school boards and the school directors. Next, we'll talk about the process for electing a school director, and then community impact. So if you know someone or if you are interested in running for school director, then we hope that this series helps you. And we want to point you to some additional resources, the Pennsylvania School Boards Association, if you want to learn more. The Lackawanna County Department of Elections is wonderful. They have great people there who will help you with all the information you need to get on the ballot. Ready to Run, Northeastern Pennsylvania at the University of Scranton. And of course, the League of Women Voters of Lackawanna County. And we invite you to join the league. And as always, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you for the next one.